Hi, in this video I'll be showing you how to set up a Vista tent. First, let's have a look at what's in the bag. You've got the main body of the tent, set of poles, insect mesh, fly sheet, 3 ratchets and straps, some spares, 3 pegs, and a user guide. So the first thing to do is put your strap around the tree. You can take the loop end and walk it round your tree and come back, get your strap, set it at the height you want, and then simply thread the tail through the loop and pull it and cinch it tight. Okay, so here's the trillium. You can please read the manual before you set it up and before use, just so you know what the limitations are. Undo the buckle, and then we're going to lay it out so that each of the corners are facing the tree anchors that we're going to use. And then it's time to put the ratchets on. So each ratchet has got a locking mechanism here, which goes in behind the teeth, and a loop on a strap at the other end. Now we simply take the D-ring, thread the loop through the D-ring, and then put the ratchet through the loop. And we do that once each side first. Then we can take the ratchet strap, thread it through the spindle. Now the first time we do this, we're going to eye it, because we don't know exactly where the equal central point is between these 3 trees. So the way I do it is I stand on the end of this strap and give it a couple of pumps, so I've got something to pull against. Through the spindle, pull a little bit out. Give it a couple of pumps, make sure that the strap is wound completely round once so you can't see any of the spindle. That means it will be locked under itself. So right now we've got the trillium up nice and loose, and now we've got to get it as close to in position as we can before we get it very, very tight. So if you look down this line of thread here, you'll see that the line of thread and the ratchet strap are kinked. That's not a straight line. But if I pull and tighten this side of the trillium, that angle should straighten up, and let's have a look and see how that is getting there. The last thing you need to do is make sure all of your ratchets are in locked position, which means you should pull the locking lever out, set your ratchet closed so that this pin is behind inside this housing here. So now we've put the floor up, we can get the roof on. So we're going to need the fly sheet, the poles, the insect mesh, and at this point you're probably going to want to read this quite carefully and watch this video. So there's 3 aluminium poles that come with it, 11mm diameter. They're pretty chunky, but you can just flick them straight. They've got elastic inside. 3 poles. For the moment, I'm just going to put the fly sheet and the insect mesh under here so they don't get in the way. Now you've got to lay the poles out. Each pole's got a socket, and then you lay the pole out down the central line of these seams. Just sits in there. Well, once we've got our 3 poles in their sockets and all crossing each other, it's time to get the fly sheet out. and we can lay it out over the top of the poles. So the fly sheet's a triangle, as you might expect, but at the middle of each triangle it's also got a bit of a peak with a pocket. Now the poles are going to fit into that pocket, but first we need to get this and lay it over the poles. So I'm going to take the back corner, I'm going to pass it to myself over there, over the strap, and then I'm going to pull it towards this side. At each corner of the fly sheet you'll find a hook at the very tip, and then back about a foot or 25 centimeters you'll find on one side a loop and on one side a toggle. So open the loop with your finger and bring the and put the toggle through the loop, making sure it catches nice and easy. So you've got the toggle and the loop together, and the hook, we're just going to leave it loose but pulled through the D-ring for the moment until we finish with the poles. So where the pole sticks out of the center of the sides, you now have 3 bits of pole sticking out about 2 feet or 70 centimeters. What you do is you bend the pole sideways against the socket that it's in and feed it into the material pocket. Then we're going to raise the roof. For this I'm going to go under and come through the central hatch. And now I'm in here, I can lift each of the arches up into the central position so that they all cross over my head. Lift the last pole into position so they should all cross right at the center, where you'll find a couple of ties. Tie those into position and loop it off however you like. Next to the ties you've got a lantern or gear hanging hook. We should slip all the poles into their C-clips. So now let's do the insect mesh. So we can keep these belts in the central pocket and lay out the insect mesh. Once you've got it all spread out, what you'll see are 3 bungeed C-clips in a triangle, and in the middle of that triangle you'll find 1 elasticated webbing bungee C-clip, and that elasticated C-clip goes right in the center. And then we can take these going to the corners and tie them up to the poles which go to the corner sockets. The C-clips on the bungee cord, if you put them on the outside of the C-clips for the rain fly, it pulls the insect mesh out further, so you've got better headroom. You've got better headroom inside. You can always adjust these as well, so you just pull it through and tighten them up. So now at each corner of the fly sheet you'll find a long bungee and hook, and on the opposite corner you'll find a loop. So these two come together, put the hook through the loop, and that means your insect mesh is now sealed in the corners. And then I'm just going to come in through the center, and you've got a completely sealed Vista habitable space, able to be accessed from the central hatch like I've just come in, or you can also get in any of the 3 sides because they're bungeed, so they're all a little bit elasticated, and you can climb in through any of the sides or the hatch. The insect mesh top also can be used as a storage net, so you can just chuck all your stuff up there on top of it. And there you go, Vista.